we are the Whiskey Whisperers.
Yes.
We like to try various different scotches, whiskeys, and bourbons, and then give it a review and tell you what we think of it. So
yeah. So enjoy.
Yeah.
Live vicariously through us.
Yes. So the first one up is Auchanson. It is a American oak single malt whiskey from the lowlands of Scotland. And I've heard really good things about it. And the notes are supposed to be a nice, light, subtle vanilla, and coconut and rich toffee. The subtle flavors. So, and they were the first and second in stilled in bourbon casks. So it'll be interesting to try this. And then next up is a.
Now we have already tried this one.
Yep, this is well known. This is the Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve single malt Scotch, and this is a really good one. We've tried this before, but we've never actually done a live tasting and review on it. So,
yep.
And this is the rum barrel selection. So it's got a really nice finish with floral notes.
Sweet, but not like it has a sweet finish, but it doesn't taste sweet.
Yep.
If that makes any sense. It's just, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we got going on tonight.
Yeah.
Unless I do have a surprise. I did get a Wicked Pickle whiskey. I'm not too sure if I want to try it or not, but the clerk at the liquor store just threw this in the box with my whiskey, so I'm not sure about it.
So why not? You know, I mean, it's the here, so
we'll do it.
It's probably gonna smell terrible. Yeah, the story that the clerk or the checkout lady told you said that it ruined her taco night on Cinco de Mayo. Was it?
Yeah.
So it ruined her night.
Oh.
So hopefully it doesn't ruin our night too.
It smells like I just opened a jar of pickles.
Oh. I actually hate pickles. So this may be awful. How about we just the slightest, just little taste of this.
I definitely don't want it to ruin our palate for
I hope it doesn't linger.
Oh.
Ugh.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
No.
It's like spicy for some reason.
Yeah. It's like a spicy pickle.
If you like pickles, you may like this.
It's definitely not like a sweet looking pickle. It's definitely dill in flavor.
Yes.
But I'm not a big fan, so.
No, me either.
We should cap that and probably bury that one.
It goes in the whiskey graveyard.
Yeah.
You are holding one of the only triple distilled single malt Scotch whiskeys. Interesting.
Sometimes triple distilled is actually really good. Sometimes it isn't. It just kind of depends on how it was done. It smells light.
Yeah, not super strong in the smell, but it does smell good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. Sometimes when you smell a whiskey, it will tingle in your nose. Mm-hmm. This one does not.
And the pronunciation for this is Akatoshan.
Oh.
So.
Some people do tastings neat. I like to do it with water because I think just a little bit of water, because I think you pick up on more flavors that way. Helps balance out what you're tasting.
I don't know if you can see that, but it's very nice golden color.
Yeah, it's very light. Almost like apple juice.
Yeah. You can smell a little bit of the oak. But it's very faint. It's not something that burns your nose. So sometimes when you smell the spirit, it tends to leave a little lingering burn, maybe. This one's very, very mild.
It's very nice to smell.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the scent alone, I'm not picking up anything in particular. It is leaving residue on the glass. Some whiskeys I've noticed do that more so than others. Almost like a oily residue. And that tends to mean that maybe it's a little more full-bodied.
Cheers.
Give it a shot. It is very light.
Mm-hmm.
Very smooth. Definitely has a sweet finish.
Mm-hmm. I'm picking up the light taste of toffee.
Yeah, I was thinking like, you know, those like chocolate bars that are like toffee and almond.
Mm-hmm.
Like for some reason I'm getting like a toasted almond type flavor in there.
The upfront notes, I'm not really picking up anything up front as much as it is more on the back end.
Yeah, it's what's left lingering. Like there's sometimes when you taste a whiskey, it definitely hits you right up front, and then it, you know, wafts over you at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, up front, I'm just sort of picking up the sweetness of it, and that's all that's really there in the initial palate.
This is a very good sipping scotch, I would say. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of scotches sort of have a similar undertones of flavor, in my opinion. This one doesn't really taste like a scotch to me.
So this is in the lowlands, so this typically does have a lighter type flavors versus something that might be on a different area in Scotland and the way it's distilled. I mean, that could be one of the reasons why it is the way it is.
Yeah. Are you getting like an almost filmy texture on your tongue, like leftover? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I'm not sure if I've quite noticed that before.
And if you're wondering, if you're out there and you're just getting into whiskeys or anything, and you're like, oh yeah, I've had whiskeys and it really burns or anything like that, this actually is a very clean finish.
Mm-hmm. It
doesn't burn at all. But if you're new to this, you might say, dude, what is your deal? This does have a burn to it. You know, if you've never tried this like we have, you know, the different scotches and whiskeys and stuff that we've tried, for us, it's very mild, doesn't burn
very
at all.
smooth.
So if you were to compare this to like, I don't know, Fireball, that is your...
Yeah.
That'll burn. But this one is
I do recommend if you are getting into whiskey for the first time to cut it with water.
Yep.
Don't cut it with anything else because you lose the whole essence of having whiskey, in my opinion. Like, I know people enjoy their whiskey cocktails and stuff, and I do too, but if you want to be a little more serious about it, like start off and maybe even go up to a half water, half, you know, whiskey if you want to sort of ease yourself into tasting it and sort of developing your palate for it.
Yeah, because it'll mild things out to where you make it enjoyable when you really start picking up all those notes from the front to the back, and those really good finishes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very subtle, and it takes you a little bit to pick up on those subtleties, but once you start refining your palate to what you're drinking, it'll get there.
Yeah, another thing to do is just sort of let your mind go and close your eyes and just imagine what the flavor reminds you of, and then sort of go from there. But yeah, like sort of the image I get in my head when drinking this one is like a Heath Bar Crunch as the ending lingering note of flavor.
So for all you Heath Bar lovers out there,
try out this bad boy.
This might be it for you. And while you're at it, if you're watching this video, make sure you click the like and subscribe button.
Absolutely.
And follow us for more of our adventures in our whiskey tasting. And if you have any suggestions of stuff that we might have not tried, or you think that we should try, leave a comment in the comment section, and we'll take a look at that. And if we've tried it, we'll let you know. And if we haven't, that'd be fantastic because we're always liking to try new things.
A few weeks ago, I was in the liquor store and this was a brand new release, the Caribbean Reserve. And it's finished in Caribbean rum barrels. So just adds a completely new dynamic of flavor to it.
A different complexity, if you will. And what I like about these boxes, it doesn't matter if you try this one or any of the Glenlivet type bottles. On the back of the box, it's going to give you the different notes and the different finishes and different things. So you can take a look at that and see if you like it. And if you don't, then awesome, try something different. So this one you did chill though, right?
Yeah, this is cold.
Okay.
The other one, I like to chill my whiskey. It definitely changes the flavor. That's another thing to consider, is chilling your whiskey in the freezer or the fridge. I always do mine in the freezer. It definitely mellows out the edge, in my opinion, and it helps you pick up on more just the flavor of it rather than the alcohol aspect.
So you can really pick up the Caribbean fruitiness of that.
Very
whiskey.
fruit forward.
Yep. And the finish is actually really nice too. And again, this is something that we've tried before, but never actually did a review on.
Right.
And so we're excited to try it. And there might be some whiskeys out there that you're like, you know what, this is one of my favorites. I'm gonna go back to it time and time again.
Completely different scent. Once again, no burning in the nose.
You would definitely get the sense of the Caribbean cask. Even though the box says Caribbean cask, just the smell alone will take you back to the Caribbean and those tropical flavors, and kind of set you in that tone.
It's good.
Once again, very smooth, very enjoyable. Definitely.
Like pina coladas.
Yep.
The image I get in my head when tasting this, there's a restaurant in the Seattle area called Portage Bay Cafe, and they make a bananas Foster French toast, which has a Kraken rum based sauce on it, and it reminds me so much of that, the bananas and that caramely, rich rum flavor.
But if you definitely want a smooth scotch, this is, with a lot of flavor to it, this is actually really, really good.
Glenlivet has never steered us wrong. There has not been a bad one that we've had, so.
And I think we've had most of them.
Yeah. Yep.
We've tried most of
at
them.
one point or another.
Yep. We've tried their 12-year, their 14-year, and they've never steered us wrong in any one of them. So.
Once again, the flavor isn't punchy. It's just, it puts you in a state of mind, is how I see it. And it's just like you're on the beach, you're just relaxing, and you got a coconut in hand with a pina colada inside of it, you know?
Yeah, there's no harsh tones to it. It's very crisp. And like I said, there's no peatiness to it. There's no...
yeah, there's no char flavor whatsoever in this.
It's very light, very crisp, and I think that if you want to try something that's not harsh and you want to try it for the first time, this definitely would be a go-to.
You get a nice pickle flavor at the end. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, that one, nope. That will be on the...
do not touch list.
Yeah, do not touch the blacklist. Anyway, that's our review. Thanks for joining us, and we will definitely be in touch, and stay tuned for our next episode where we try a new tasting.
Absolutely.
Cheers.